We're back.
Fantastic.
We've never been more back. For some reason, that's the first time I've noticed that there's just an envelope in there, and I was really hoping you could pick it up like it was a New Game Plus thing, but no, the game just told me that's been there the whole time, you just didn't notice.
Yeah.
So last time, me and Gwynn, essentially, just to kind of recap, this is a New Game Plus file for the first, 2-3 parts of this playthrough until we merge back with our previous people. Previous people.
Our old bodies.
Our old buddies. But yeah, last part we went through the town thoroughly. Gwynn is going to have to edit a lot out because I spent most of my time just kind of running into walls, hoping to find new stuff. And now we're back in the apartment buildings. I know what I'm going to do here. There's not really a lot of opportunity for new stuff, so it should be a much more fast-paced, thing from here on out.
Isn't that fun? We know what we're doing. For once.
For once, I was going to say this is now and then never again. Oh my god, look how the darks in this place... Oh god.
It is. It's extremely... This is advanced darkness.
Advanced darkness, and my encoding did not like it, apparently.
Yeah, that'll just have to be the way that it is.
Unfortunate, but at least people can see what's going on.
Hello?
Oh yeah, here I forgot that there's actual audio and sounds happening when you go up the stairs, so for a second I thought it was new, and I was like...
Yeah. Wouldn't that be crazy if the New Game Plus for Silent Hill 2 was just like an entirely new game? Just like nothing even barely similar?
Yeah, no,
That'd
they
be
just
crazy.
keep throwing new shit at you, and you're just scared all over again.
Yeah.
What kind of game? Ooh. Did I do that the first playthrough?
Probably. I wouldn't know, but probably.
Oh my god. Yeah. Also, for anybody who's interested in this original playthrough that we are referencing a couple of times, I am planning on just kind of throwing the audio up, like I said before, as a sort of a podcast. Hold on, there's a spin, and the first hit to the face immediately.
Oh my god. I just want to, like, you don't even have the excuse of, like, you hadn't been playing for a minute. Like, you pretty much launched right into this, like, immediately after. That's
listen, the
remarkable.
mannequins suck, alright? I swear in hard mode, they gain extra leapage that they don't have in normal mode.
Yeah, they might be a little bit more hyper-aggressive for sure.
And there, I definitely canceled the attack. Look at that! Did you see how far
Yeah.
it went out of its way to hit me? It's ridiculous.
They're great.
That is your opinion, and I do not respect it.
Double S tier character for sure. I
Yeah,
think.
definitely when that Silent Hill 2, a competitive fighting game comes out.
I'm saying that there's a couple of arenas that we keep finding that I think, you know how Uncharted had a inexplicably added multiplayer? I think that's what's going on here.
It is really bad. Like, I think at this point, I'm literally just waiting for it to stop, and I think I heard my computer like calm down. I don't know if you maybe want to put some pictures of unrelated games there, just to keep it kind of
Beautiful puppies.
Yeah, beautiful puppies, piglets.
It might just no, not again.
Oh my god. We'll talk about that when we talk about that. But for the meantime, it's been actually like, I want to say about 2 weeks since I've last played Silent Hill 2, so I am kind of lost on what previous me is doing. I don't have this fresh in my memory again. And so does he, I guess, because now he's like bumping into doors being like, did I go here? Do I go here? No.
Fun fact, those little cans down there next to that handgun ammo that you picked up, I think one of those cans is the hyperspray can from the original game.
Oh.
The spray weapon that you get for beating it on hard difficulties, I guess, and getting high star counts, which they took out of this game. But
yeah, I miss that. I do miss when video games make themselves video gamey to some extent. Obviously, this game, completely throughout the entire playthrough, it's a serious, tragic story and tale of darkness and whatever. And then it's like, okay, you got 20 stars. Good job. Get more.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, go kill everybody now.
Yeah, now you got to kill every single line figure. And I'm like, well, wait. But I like that because there's an incentive, now that you've enjoyed the story, incentive to go back and do it again for a different reason.
Yeah, I agree. It is so fun. I mean, I really experienced this with the Resident Evil 2 remake in particular.
Oh yeah.
And I think we maybe have already talked about this either maybe in the last part, I don't know, or at some point later in the playthrough. But I don't know. It's just very cool that like this game and many other horror games, it's like as soon as you know what's going on, the game, you can beat it like 80% faster on your next playthrough if you know what you're doing.
Definitely.
And I think that's fun. The juxtaposition of like taking the game super seriously and soaking in all the atmosphere and just playing it like the developers intended, and then going through and then absolutely breaking the shit out of it afterwards. And
Some of the best, most cathartic experience you can have. Like a game that just absolutely kicks you shit in, and then you know exactly what you're doing. Is not a big deal even anymore. That being said, there's a lot of stuff in this game where it was really tense. Again, it's like very tense. Like later parts where you run for your life with things being swung around behind you, and I'm like screaming. I'm like, oh God, scrambling, and then I do it again. I'm like, this is just not even a problem because now I know I'm totally safe. Still don't know how she ended up behind me when she was, but that's for later. That's for way later. Previous life me will also. This is my main issue. This is where we need a memory go over. We had a lot to discuss about this part, and that is lost now.
I'll definitely try to throw that in for sure. If I can make it work, I'll loop the footage, make it look decent or something. Yeah, because that is pretty important.
Yeah, it's very important. I'm pretty sure. Like I was just kind of walking around the apartment like I am right now while we were discussing this. I think actually you'll see me in this footage go back to the newspaper just because I was realizing just how heavy that was and how it's kind of important for us to go over. I think I'm going to do that. If not, then I did it in a dream, in my restless stream.
In my restless dream.
Yeah. What am I doing?
I mean, if I can't loop it around and make our audio sound good, basically that little piece of newspaper over there goes into the story of Walter Sullivan, who is the main antagonist of Silent Hill 4.
Yeah.
And Silent Hill 4 is kind of it's a little bit excessive to say that Silent Hill 4 is an elaboration on Silent Hill 2. It takes a lot of characters that Silent Hill 2 mentioned in very light passing, like Walter Sullivan, and then kind of just elaborates on those.
It also has a very... It's implied that one of the characters that is hardly mentioned in Silent Hill 4 itself is related to James, and that potentially it could honestly be. There's never been any sort of confirmation of any kind. Maybe James lived in the same apartments as Henry did. Who knows?
Possible.
It could be possible. So Silent Hill 4 does have some definite connections to the second game. So if Blooper Team wanted to do it, because it makes sense too. As much as I want a Silent Hill 1 and 3 remake by them, it will make sense for them to go from 2 to 4 because they are both slightly connected. Not as like if they make 1 or 3, they have to remake the other one as well, right? But
yeah, for sure.
Here they have the option to do 4. Fuck this thing. And just kind of, if it doesn't work out, they don't have to worry about 1 or 3, you know? So I think 4 will be a nice thing to also do for them.
I agree, because, I mean, you can tell when most people talk about the original Silent Hill games, it's usually preceded by the trilogy of original Silent Hill games. You can tell that Silent Hill 4 is definitely considered to be the black sheep of the original Silent Hill games, which is funny because I'm pretty sure that it is still all of at least mostly the original Team Silent. Yeah. But don't quote me on that because I'm not totally sure. But it's still definitely like in that same vein. You know, it hits a lot of the same notes, a lot of the same flavors. You know, and honestly, like as time has gone on, I have a really fond memory of it personally. I don't know how much that holds up, and honestly, I feel like, you know, after we go back and do the OG Silent Hill 2, maybe we go back and do Silent Hill 4 if we can.
I think we should.
Or I might do it solo.
All of them, because why not?
Yeah, just because I think that game does some really interesting shit that, especially Blooper Team, who really loves their attention to detail and being all creepy and crappy and shit. I feel like they'd really get into it.
No, I do agree with that. It's just that Silent Hill 4 was a lot of an experimental thing. Like, you can tell that it does not even play really like the other games. Like, it completely forgoes the tank controls. It mostly forgoes the fixed camera angles. It's very, at least when I played it, when I think back on playing it, I feel very much like it's more melee focused than anything because it has like the
Yeah.
power swing moves and stuff. Like, and then it has the ghosts where you need to use like the daggers to keep them in place, which I
Yeah.
hate.
I
Like,
forgot.
yeah. So there's, and it's also the first Silent Hill game to employ very heavily first person elements. So it's
Yeah.
very experimental, and a lot of people just didn't like it at the time because of these experimental changes. And I think honestly, it's within the context of release. It's always within when did it come out, what kind of
Yeah.
environment did it come out in, because I personally believe every single Silent Hill game is good. I don't really think
Yeah.
there's a single one that's even Homecoming. I've played Homecoming like 3 times and I liked it. It's not
What is the gross sounds that are going on right now?
that
That's
is
scary.
that yeah, that's why I was turning around because I'm freaking out here. I'm by myself. You're no
Yeah.
longer on the horn with me to like keep me kind of steady. So I'm actually kind of freaking out right now in this game by myself.
Yeah, I feel like I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like all stomping and then the radio just goes off and then the radio stops.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should definitely play the more underrated
Yeah.
Silent Hill games together, like Homecoming, Downpour, 4. Like, we should definitely give them all a shot and
Yeah.
let people see, what they're all about.
Change some hearts and some minds potentially about
Potentially.
them. Although I'll be honest with you, I feel like I saw a video pretty recently, kind of glazing Silent Hill 4, and it's pulling of the carpet out from underneath you, with the whole like you're not safe in your safe space type stuff.
It is very well done because
Yeah.
I've definitely, from a personal experience, because I also am very scared. We didn't find this one the first time, by the way. I'm pretty sure. Like on the first playthrough, we didn't look at this one.
Yeah, probably not.
that's why
I
I'm-
think we walked by it and looked at it and was like, "Oh, cool." But
That's-
I don't know if we got the dialogue from James.
That is still when I didn't have the icons up, so it never popped up to hit X on it.
Yeah, there you go.
But I held on it because I did think it was kind of important because we figure out later that these drawings are the girl Laura that kicked us or that stepped on our hand. That's her like representing herself and her environment. And
Yep.
you can see that she, as a small rabbit, has like a black eye from the bigger rabbit. I don't know. And I'm like, that's fucked up. And then later in the hospital, neither of us ever comment on it. There is a note, there's a letter that you see where it's a doctor. It says, little girl came in, she's absolutely messed up. She didn't even want to speak
Oh.
anything or eat. I put her on the bed and she thanked me. And I'm like, so Laura got abused. Like, definitely that's what's happening
Yeah.
here. And she
That's very
wasn't
cool
Silent Hill.
because-
So I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, in the original game, Laura is kind of an inexplicable entity as far as like her existence in the world of Silent Hill 2. And that discussion I won't get into because I know that we talk about it towards the end of the game,
Yeah.
and I've put up a lot of information on the screen surrounding the subject, so I won't get into it here. But yeah, it's good to know that they've taken her character and fleshed her out a little bit and kind of solidified her existence in this town because she's definitely supposed to be a real person. Like,
100%.
there's a lot of people who think that maybe Laura is supposed to be from the town as well. But it's been basically confirmed for certain, especially with this elaboration on Bloober Team's part, that she is definitely a person in this town, which is good.
Still don't know what the wedding dress is about.
Nope. Not at all.
Trying to figure out, like, I'm looking at it because I'm like, what the hell is that? I don't know if it's supposed to be another like indicator towards James or towards Mary. I honestly couldn't tell you why it's there. A lot of people are trying to like figure out and put like pieces together over, like Reddit and Twitter, and I'm over here like, oh, I don't like. So what I'm doing here is I'm hoping that it doesn't, like, that it's actually respondent to light as intended.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of keeping myself like an idea of how far away from it I am, because it's pitch black when I turn this flashlight off.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just not fun by myself. When you weren't there, I was like, oh, okay, I need to go back.
Yeah,
real
for
quick.
sure. You always imagine that this kind of thing isn't that scary, especially going through it a second time. And then, like I was saying in the last part where I was going through the original, just sitting down to like quietly record by myself. You don't even have yourself talking. Like, you're not even trying to commentate and soothe yourself that way. It's just like just you in the game. It gets fucked up. It's weird in there, man.
See,
It's dark and
like,
spooky.
I do like that you're saying that, because literally, if we change the audio track on this video you're watching, you will hear me blabbering in fear. Just be like,
Yeah, for
get
sure.
back."
It's yeah.
I definitely have that problem where but you can tell I'm checking every corner from a mannequin, because I'm like, not only is the game scary atmospherically, but I'm also on hard mode, so I'm like, I know if they catch me off guard, I'm gonna lose like all of my health. So it's,
2 or 3 hits on hard is enough to put you in red, and it's a pretty big issue.
yeah, I think in the original, like in the full playthrough, I died like 4 or 5 times, like at least.
Yep.
Just because even when even after we went down from hard to normal, I think I still died at least once. Like that game.
I think so. Yeah. Just got sloppy.
A little sloppy, yeah. Sloppy.
It would be so funny if at the end of the game where it threw up all of your stats and stuff, it had a new stat that was like times loaded to aggro monsters. And it took away your hard mode playthrough badge.
Yeah, I just said I'm done. You know, I'm like, let's see what else I can do. Because I actually don't know what I am. Was this here? I'm trying to figure out where I was going. Yeah, so I told myself I'm not going to do those two.
Go deal with that later. That's a problem for future James.
Always great. Okay, James. He does that way too frequently on me, where I'm just like, I want you to kick the thing on the floor, and he just swings above it. Like, okay, good job.
Yeah.
I'm also the nails kind of scared me from the 2x4. They kind of went through this camera there for a second. That was weird.
You're just a jumpy Judy over here, man.
When we started the playthrough again, I wanted to make some references to the original cut that we done, and first thing I did when I cut control of James is run back into the women's bathroom and just goes funk, and I was like, remember how much?
Hey, it's PH.
Hey, buddy. Do you want to talk about put a memory in here, Gwynn? Put a editing Gwynn memory in here.
Maybe. I did kind of go over the how good of a reveal this is for Pyramid
It really
Head.
is. Like any other game would just be like a big cutscene, lots of fucking sound effects and music blaring to reveal.
Yeah, he's got the knife already, and he's
Like, even like a good game like Alien Isolation still made a cutscene out of the friggin' alien jumping out of the vent. This game, dude's just there, like, hey, call me an awkward time. I'm gonna stare at you now.
Yeah. I always just think it's amazing too, because like you've obviously been shown 2 types of enemies now already, and they've all fought you pretty much immediately. And so when you're shown Pyramid Head, you're kind of like, well, you know, I mean, I'm glad that the bars are in between us, but like he's not really doing anything.
No, he absolutely just goes, all right, your move, buddy. Like he
so
literally does nothing.
Given the chance at least to consider momentarily at least that he might be friendly.
Yeah.
But he's not.
He's not. It's kind of like he dares you because he doesn't move. So you have to make that decision to turn away from him, turn your back on him, and say, all right, I'm going to walk away now.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's like, is this a thematic, symbolistic thing? James is staring it down, and he's gotta say, no, I will not accept this, and walk away from it. Think about it.
I will not accept the duel.
I will not accept the duel. Just a Pyramid Head busts out a dual disc.
I wonder, did you get the Easter egg in this room?
The Easter egg?
We'll see it in just a second here. When he picks up the gun, hopefully.
There's 2. No, I did not actually get it. I tried to have it done multiple times here. When you shoots once, Gwynn, editing Gwynn, there's going to be a lot of memories and echoes going to have to throw in here, actually, now that I think about it.
I think so. Well, I mean, it's kind of awkward without the footage. Anyway.
Well, the amount of times that we laughed about us and the joke about we couldn't find any weapons. No bullets were found.
Yeah. It's interesting that it's like a random chance. But anyway, sometimes when you pick up the gun in this room
you see him trying
and you go to aim it, he will accidentally fire the gun. Because he's a fucking idiot. Doesn't know how to work a handgun.
Yeah, that's about sums it up. No trigger discipline. You can tell his finger is always on that trigger.
Yep. He's scared.
I mean, so would I, honestly. I mean, if I know I'm in a shit show situation like this, my finger would also be on that trigger at all times.
That's so weird. He looks like my good friend Harry Mason.
That's crazy.
That would be an immediate 2 points off for me in this game, is if they like made some contrived reach to make James be like, yeah, just back at home, like I need to get back to see my friend Harry Mason.
Yeah. Man, and I came here, and yeah, when my wife got sick, and 3 years ago, my friend Harry Mason,
He was always there for me.
with his daughter Cheryl Mason.
Yeah.
He baked me a lot of cookies.
Well, she'd be Heather still at this point, as we've come to decide, potentially.
Yeah, well, I mean, in his defense, right, without going too much into spoilers, he doesn't know what's happening. So to him, we're in 1970 whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I was talking about the whole, like, well, I guess, okay, yeah, that is...
So he wouldn't
Ignore what I'm saying.
He wouldn't
right
actually
now.
be able to even know Harry at this point, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, just from the things we've seen that Heather has. Heather's game definitely takes place in like the early 2000s, so that's definitely like locked in. They have escalators, for gosh sakes.
Yeah, and escalators, they were not invented until this year.
Until today. I actually invented them right now.
I guess that's a good point to mention, is that, so I think if you were going to ask you and I both which of our favorite game, which Silent Hill game is our favorite, we would probably have two different answers.
Oh yeah, 100%.
For sure.
For you,
because
two.
Mine is definitely 2.
Yeah.
And I think yours would either be 1 or 3, right?
Correct. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. See, I'm trying to do the thing for him to shoot at it. At least he's not doing it.
No.
But yeah, for me, my favorite Silent Hill game would definitely be 1 or 3. 3, I feel, would be a bias count just because Cheryl is such an important character. Like, always has been when I grew up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that was like a strong, heroic. Well, not heroic, for her. She's not like, I'm Superman, I'll protect people. But you know what I mean? She was like, I will do what I must. Like, female character that I thought was fantastic.
She's so cool.
She's
She's so funny to me. I can't even the scene where Dahlia comes out and she's like, I'm Dahlia, and then Heather's like, all right, I don't care, and then walks away. That's fantastic. She's such a not horror game protagonist. It's fantastic.
That's Claudia, by the way. Dahlia.
Oh, Claudia. Dahlia is
very more important later or early in the storyline. Yeah.
Earlier, yeah. She's dead. I think.
She points at herself. She's like, I am Claudia. Okay. I'm like, yeah, okay. I just absolutely love her. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, she's definitely a fantastic character. But I think gameplay-wise might be Silent Hill 1.
Yeah. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that the connection between Silent Hill 1 and 3 and to 2 is, like, very extremely loose.
Yeah.
And I think we go over it a little bit. But like they're very like, if it wasn't a Silent Hill game, like they'd be underloaded. Like there's almost no connecting features other than the fact that they do exist in the town of Silent Hill together.
Yeah.
And even still, like I'd say that like Silent Hill takes on such a different role in this game than the other 2 games, because the 1 and 3 are very like super cult focused, like the Cult of the Order in those games.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it feel like a lot of the stuff that's going on is like super of the occult. Like you've got the snow falling from the sky that's supposed to be like representative of the White Claudia and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of like the mystical magical stuff is kind of like the needle is kind of pointing into that direction, whereas this game, I don't even know how to describe it other than it just being almost like almost chthonic in nature, in the way that it's just kind of like its own force of will.
I'm over here like, what the fuck is chthonic?
Yeah, like of Cthulhu,
Oh,
like
okay.
or honestly, that might not be the right word. I actually can't think of anything else right now.
Lovecraftian, you mean? Like
Lovecraftian, sure.
Yeah, like Eldritch.
I guess I specifically mean Cthulhu in the way that it's just kind of like it's unknowable by humans, and it's just kind of like this like mystic force, I guess, okay, of itself.
Editing Gwynn, I need you to listen to this part on track 1 eventually, and just really feel how you think about editing some stuff of this in here.
I will, yeah. Although I'm interested because I'm already seeing that there's something a little bit different going on with this puzzle, is there not?
Yeah, definitely. This was about 2 a.m. in the morning for me. I'm really tired. Like, my voice is just... You can hear it in my voice, I'm pretty sure at this point. I'm just like, what am I doing? I should have probably stopped, but I was too ambitious. And now I'm just kind of stuck here. Way too tired.
Had you just forgotten, like, the...
I couldn't find the last... No, actually, here's what's happening. And I want you to pay good attention. Without my active commentary, I want you to pay attention to what I'm doing and realize what's going wrong with me as we're gonna keep talking here. But, yeah, when I figured out what I was, not, catching on to, I was very sad. But yeah, so this room is just rough. But I actually made a little note of this here as well. When it comes to the Silent Hill series, in terms of cult games, it's almost like there are 2 separate series of Silent Hill games going on at once.
Yeah.
Where one is cult related and is like a continuous story almost, and the other one is a more episodic. Just every time is something different. Silent Hill 2, 4, and Downpour heavily lean into the psychological aspects of the town, where the town just kind of draws people in that have some kind of event happen in their lives, and they're like Silent Hill kind of forces them to deal with it and punishes them for it to a certain extent, while Silent Hill 1, 3, 0, and Homecoming are very much cult focused. Homecoming to an extreme degree, because in Homecoming they made the mistake of adapting a lot of the Silent Hill movie elements into the game. Like, there's a lot of... If you ever watched a movie, Homecoming has a lot of the characters with... that kind of look like cleaners with, like, the gas masks coming in, and, like, how the siren starts, and then, like, the rust of the floor gives away, just like in the movies. So it does a lot of that, but I still think it was a decent enough game. So if you don't want to follow the cult storyline, there are definitely other Silent Hill opportunities for you to kind of dive into.
It's pretty weird. Like, I can't think of any other game series that kind of has like ability to like dual wield plot lines like Silent Hill does.
It is wild, but the town is just...
They really try to hard commit. Like, I even think about like Elden Ring, and them, like, the original Souls team being like, we don't want to make Souls games anymore, so we're gonna make a open world Dark Souls game. And it's like, man, you guys kind of... I mean, you could have just made an open world Dark Souls game. You didn't really have to,
make a whole new...
Just change it.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but have you kind of caught on to what is going wrong on my end?
Have you just, like... I feel like what I'm seeing is that you've walked past all 3 of them, and you're kind of just like forgetting the last one that you looked at.
No. What's happening is I found all 3 of them. I'm looking for the 4th one.
Oh, you dumbass.
There are 4 lines in the poem, so there must be a 4th one.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I understand now.
And I'm going crazy at 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, where is the last one? Wait, is it only... Wait. Oh my god, wait, is it only 3? Gwynn, have I been looking for a 4th and it doesn't exist? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. This is why I should have been here for this, because, like, I would have just... I had held your hand through the first playthrough, basically, as well. So
yeah, like, my brain is just like, I can't. My brain will always overcomplicate everything. I promise you. You will give me a 2 + 2. I will not figure it out with first slaving over it, and you will actually see that later in this playthrough.
Yeah, dude, I don't even want to think about it.
Don't hurt my feelings. Are we gonna be in here for a little bit longer? Well, I'm trying to figure this out.
I guess this does give us a good time to talk about one of the most interesting things I'd say about this room, because like otherwise I would consider this room to be totally irrelevant, except for the fact that the door that you exit through has those 9 squares on it over there.
Yeah, that is weird.
Which, not to get into it or anything, because it does appear again later at the very end of the game, but it is at the very least an extremely important thing as far as like the imagery of Silent Hill 2 goes.
Correct, yeah.
And it's also something that Masahiro Ito, the creature designer, has gone on to say is something that does have a deeper meaning and is a symbol of something to some extent, but that he's not going to say because he's like, some things are just better left to be unknown. And so I just find it very interesting that Bloober Team has taken the time to adapt that particular imagery into this room specifically. And I haven't really seen very many people talk about it. So I'll be curious to see what the general consensus is on that ends up being.
That's a good point. No, I do agree with that. Okay. I'm freaking out. Like I can only imagine how angry I was after I figured it out. It's been long enough that I've forgotten about it, but yeah.
I'm just surprised that there's still like another half hour of this video left because I could imagine you being like, I'm just going to end it in this part here.
I was so determined to finish the entire recordings that I needed to in this one night. Like literally right after we got done actually beating the game, I was like, I'm just going to record everything that we need for the future, like right now.
Yeah.
But again, it was like 3 in the morning by the time I finally gave up. So it was a problem for sure.
It's probably partially good that you did, because you might have never gotten back around to doing it.
Maybe, yeah. That would have been... I'm a very stubborn person when it comes to certain things like that. We're just like, no, I can keep going. I will beat this in a second. And I'm like, okay, I've wasted 5 hours now.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about it, we talk about Winnie the Pooh again.
We're gonna have to...
Literally starving ourselves.
Literally. My head was spinning. I was literally like, oh,
yeah, no, like I mean, I need everybody to understand that I'm trapped in a sensory deprivation chamber right now.
Go and put a picture up.
Of me in the room right now? Yeah, I'll show it. Yeah. But I mean, we were literally being driven to insanity there. And I mean that with sincerity.
Definitely. Definitely caused us also to have some issues. Because we finally got to the thing we wanted to show off. And then we were just so... Yeah, you can tell that I'm no longer, like, giving a shit. I was just like, fuck this game. But we were driven so far when we recorded that stupid game. And then
took all the wind out of our sails.
We were so depleted when we got to that part. I was like, okay, we should probably take a break.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, why is it so hard to just put my forehead against this goddamn square?
I bet it's a little warm.
Just a tiny tingle.
Nice to touch.
Are you gonna have to cut all of those save marks out because they're kind of gonna like show people what's up in the future?
Yeah, it probably won't be too hard to do that.
Okay. Just feel bad every single time that something like that occurs. I'm like, Gwynn's gonna have a hard time with this.
It's really easy when it's something that's pretty static like that. I mean, if push really comes to shove, I could just put a big old black bar over there and be like, you can't see.
Now, here's another thing. When we started this playthrough originally 2 months ago, you made a joke about making his head bigger, and I continue to propel that joke forwards every single time I went into a square. What are we going to do about that now?
No, so the thing is that I tried it in one part and decided that it was too much of a pain in the... So here's the thing. As much as I've learned while editing, I still have not gotten down the usage of masks as far as doing effects and stuff. Like, that's my biggest Achilles heel right now. And what I was trying to do with it was just not working, and I couldn't figure it out. And so I was just like, you know what? It's dead anyway. I probably just dropped that joke.
I didn't do it.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
It's all right. I'm not saying that you did.
Hey, look, it's this guy.
My name is James.
I also try to make a point out of actually seeing the body in the fridge before going to Eddie this time, because we didn't do it the first time around, and we were like, what body are you guys talking about?
Live here.
Yeah, we did literally just walk past.
I'm not even from this town. It's just...
This is Eddie. He's got an upset tummy.
Very much. So he's got an upset shirt that he needs to kind of fix.
Well, they came
He should probably change. I mean, this is apartment building is clearly abandoned. He could probably take anybody's clothes at this point.
As you made me aware, I mean, I did notice it, but you definitely did point out to keep an eye on him breathing out.
It's not safe.
Yeah, isn't that so weird?
Things.
It must be really cold in that bathroom.
Yeah, it's quite a
There's something wrong with it.
kind of icy place, you might say.
Just get out of here.
Yeah.
James.
But James doesn't seem to
You're right.
be
Hey, you
doing
wanna
that at
come
all.
No, James is fine.
Maybe together we can
Yeah,
find
James
a way
is
out of this
weird.
town.
Yeah, because it's only that bathroom. It's like when you play Phasmophobia and you bring a thermometer into a room, the next room over is going to be completely different degrees.
Yeah, James, get in there with the spirit box.
Child.
Are you
Hello.
French?
Adult.
Hello, behind you.
I miss the old spirit box so much.
Yeah.
Like now it's like
You too.
I don't even know what it does anymore, because when I think of the spirit box and Phasmophobia, I really think of the one word responses that it does, where it's like adult, scared, deaf.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I'm gonna kill you. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
So, I'm glad that you walked by that a little bit. You can see that this room is like kind of filled with like football memorabilia and stuff. That's something that's important later. Okay, nobody heard that.
Nobody heard that, and then I immediately got my ass beat again by something. Again, tip number 2 for your hard motive, Silent Hill 2. Don't do what I'm doing. Do not spam your R2. Literally hit them once, see how they react, because they can very quickly go into an unavoidable chin move, and you don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, they do have the revenge value that you keep speaking of.
It is a problem, and I hate it.
This shit is so cool. This is always the scene that I think about in like the early parts of Silent Hill 2, is the weird baby carriage in the pool. All right, man.
He's just having a
Chittering and chattering away.
good time. Having a good time. Having a good time. I'm
See,
a
I'd put
moldy
that in
boy.
if I knew that we wouldn't get nuked off the face of the earth by UMG.
I don't think they would nuke us if we were just having our own good time singing it, right? Like,
Yeah.
like there's no way that they would catch it off of me just being like, like I'm a moldy guy wiggling through the streets. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't catch on to that.
I just see that's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if the state of Freddie Mercury has followed through with this at all, but he always did say, do whatever you want with my music, don't make me boring.
That sounds about right. What a guy.
And you know what? Maybe you could make the argument that we're being very boring right now, and that would make me really sad, of course, but, to each their own.
I will personally say I definitely do not come through with my actual personality when I'm like doing post commentary, because I'm not in the action. I'm very much not ADHD right now, because I'm just kind of looking at a screen. Like, I know I recorded this. I'm right now probably. Let us hear what live action me has to say about this scenario. I'm pretty sure he's not happy with it right now. I just don't want to take damage. All my supplies dwindling. I am, but at this very current moment, he and I are two separate entities. So I can't really relate to what he's doing, because I'm sitting here in my room having a good time, actually kind of thirsty. If I could jump in that pool right now and like maybe just have a little sip, just a tiny sip of that.
I don't know.
No, you don't think?
That's a lot of probably brain-eating bacterias, if I had to guess.
It's something to press.
I really appreciate you scoping out the joint, for sure. This
Definitely.
feels very Navy SEALs SWAT team. You haven't sprinted at all. That's making me worried.
Just making sure. Making sure.
In the original game, you could trip into this pool and just absolutely eat shit. And it's fantastic. I wish that was in this game as well, but they took out James' trip.
It is kind
Why'd
of
they take out James' trip?
I would have loved for them.
Put James's trip back in, please, blooper.
Bloopers, if you could please go back into the game and only add that. I actually did see a fucking post about it on Reddit like yesterday, where they were like, why he no longer trip?
Why he don't trip no more? Frown. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know how I survived that. Oh,
I will say they've given you some pretty generous iframes on the dodge.
oh, definitely. Like that, I shouldn't have. A night.
That was not necessary at all. But thank you, Bluer.
Appreciate it. The game has like we said, they have like a director in this game where it's like, okay, this guy got beat up bad. We're gonna just give him a couple of iframes where there shouldn't be any.
Yeah, they're like, how long is good for iframes? 30 seconds? Okay.
30 seconds. 30-second window of invulnerability. Like you just dodge once.
Oh, you said 30 frames. I put it as 30 seconds.
I just like walk through an entire like the pyramid and it just slams a knife down. I'm like, I'm good. I got those invulnerability frames.
So we've gotten to the point now where I feel like I can safely say, it's amazing to me, in contrast to my opinions of the original game, where I find the in-town versions of things to be rather not dull, but kind of uninspired, and the other worlds to be really, really amazing and really interesting visually. I think it's totally flipped on its head with this game. I find the real world versions of these apartments to be really interesting and compelling. They just very realistically decrepit and abandoned. I've always been a big fan of like urbex, like urban exploring and stuff, and it gives a lot of those vibes in here. And you know, I'm always surprised to see that there's like not really like any horror games like based around like urban exploration. At least like with that being the main focus, because I always think that could be a gold mine for horror. But anyway, I really don't like what they did with the horror, the other world sections in this game. I think like similar to what you were saying with Homecoming, I think they might have taken just a touch too much from the movies as far as the way that the other world looks in this game.
I just think the other world is uninspired in this game. It doesn't feel like it has a personality. It just feels like they took rooms and then just painted them kind of gory, and that's about it. There are some set pieces that are pretty nice, but I don't know.
Yes. I think my big thing, and this will probably get cut in the cut commentary version, but in the original game, I always saw James's Otherworld to be very specifically like rotting, and to some extent, with all of like the decrepit metal and stuff, you can kind of make that argument that it is, you know, similarly in decay and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember in the original game it being like a particularly more, not biological, but very like non-mechanical kind of rot. Like there was still definitely some of it, don't get me wrong, but like it was very more like kind of almost medical focused. Like there was tarps like everywhere. Really like gross but sterile at the same time. And so like I don't know, I think the whole like mechanical aspect of the other world in this game is kind of a bit too much focus on a particular aspect of the other world that is not present in the original game.
I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that fucking dodge, by the way, because
Yeah, that was great.
but I would love to fuck you. I would love to see somebody from Blooper Team watching this and being like, what the fuck is she talking about?
No, I mean seriously, like if I ever did get to sit down with like the level design team or like just any of the people from working with this game, I would literally love to, because I mean, again, what I was saying in the last part of like the only reason that I'm being so harsh on so many parts, certain parts of this game, is because I love it so much, and I can tell that Bloober Team really loved this game too, and so like I feel like nothing but only good could come from a conversation like that.
No, I agree.
And I would love to hear their thought processes behind why they did what they did with all the redesigns of things.
I did not give Blooper Team enough credit, and I mean, I think that credit, it does have to be deserved or earned to some degree, obviously. And I'm not the only person. I know a lot of people did not have faith in them for doing this game. We all saw what they've done before.
Me included.
This. Yeah, no, we were like, no, this is not going to work out. And then it did, because Blooper Team has it in them to make fantastic, like they can make a 10 out of 10 game. This is not a 10 out of 10 just because, again, there are some small blemishes here, but they can do it. And we definitely want them to make it because what they have here could be, oh my God, James, 10, that immediately is a 9 out of 10 right there. Definitely not user error. I'm gonna blame the game for that.
Yeah.
But no, they can make this. They could potentially, with what they're showing here, like, I know this is blueprinted on one of the best horror games ever made in the first place. I get that, but if they can make this work, they could make an original best horror game ever made. Like, they just need to lock the fuck in. So that's why I'm like, I think they should definitely pay attention to people, and when people have real constructive criticism in them, definitely pay attention, because I do think before, having no combat made me snooze in most games. Like, oh my God, can I hit him?
Yeah, this is... All right.
Like, oh,
just throw one of those in there real quick.
Remember when I said I'm very consistent? What pisses me off and what upsets me? That was definitely one of those moments. Shit. But yeah, like, for example, like games like, I don't even think it was Blooper Team, but their game, the artist game, oh my God, Layers of Fear, and then
yeah, that was Blooper.
And then was Blair Witch Blooper? The Blair Witch Project video game?
I think so. I think that they did Blair Witch and then also The Medium, which was the closest that they ever came to making a Silent Hill game before this.
I did not watch Medium, but I did.
Either.
I like deep dove into Layers of Fear and Blair Witch, and I was disappointed both times because I just felt like it was too cute with the artsiness, and it didn't really have a lot of like actual meat to it. Like, I know, like, there's a lot of stuff that can be scary, but it's I don't know, like, and I told you that too for anybody, and I don't want to speak too much about it because I don't think you've played it yet, but it's the same with the game Mouthwashing.
Oh no, yeah, I have not.
When a game ends up going, we are the true monsters, I'm like, okay, I'm bored. Like I've heard this so many times. Look out the window. I know we're the monsters. I don't need you to tell me that. Now give me an actual space monster, you know, like give me Cthulhu. I don't need to see a dude being scary. Like, I know that dudes are scary. Like, Samantha could walk in with a gun right now and I'd be like, that's scary. It's like,
yeah.
So it's like that kind of stuff where I'm just like, I want an actual scary experience. And Blooper, you can do it. You're doing it right now. I was scared doing this part. I was really scared playing this by myself, even though I had just finished playing it. So I'd say do it again. And this time, I promise, I'll be paying more attention. I will say, I did not have faith in Blooper Team before. Now I'm like, all right, I'm listening. I'm paying attention. The next thing you put out, I will be their game like day one. Show me what you got, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I could even throw up the chat logs on screen of me, like, the day that this game went into its, like, early launch for, pre-purchasers or whatever.
Yeah.
By the way, still don't do that.
Don't do that.
I know that you're still pre-buying games, and you're not supposed to do that. We all said that we weren't supposed to do that, and everybody agreed to, and you just still are doing it, so stop doing it. Even if it's this game.
Yeah, don't definitely do not put $100 towards Sparking Zero. Don't do it just so you can play 3 days early.
No. Looks at you with my big round eyes. Anyway. Oh, fuck. This whole conversation has gotten so off track.
You were talking about what you said on the day it was released?
Oh, yeah. No, I just, like, I think they had the big banner on the top of Steam that's like Silent Hill 2 available now for early purchasers or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh great, let's go see what this is.
Yeah.
Because when they had announced it at the Game Awards or whatever, I can't remember exactly what show it was announced at. First of all, it was the really shitty Konami trailer.
Oh yeah.
that had the old James model where he was looking like a poor, sad, beaten puppy, and you know, it was just one of those things where it's like, at that time I didn't even know that Bloober Team had some kind of, not stinkers, but just like, you know, like not really recommended games under their belt.
Yeah.
But I was just like, dude, there's just no way. I mean, like, Silent Hill 2 is just completely untouchable as a game. And, like, I feel like the only thing that you could do by touching it is making it worse. Like, you know that fucking picture of Jesus that woman did a million years ago? It was a meme for a little while where she just destroyed the face of this like famous painting.
Oh my god.
Like
yeah.
that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen when they did it. And so like I had like literally less than zero hopes for this remake. So when like I went to the story page and saw that the day one reviews were overwhelmingly positive, not even like mostly positive or very positive, overwhelmingly positive with a lot of reviews, I like immediately like sent a DM to my girlfriend and I was just like, dude, this might be it. Like they might have hit with this one.
Yeah, no.
And they certainly did.
I don't know how that even happened, but no. I told you, I didn't even plan on purchasing the game for a long time. Like,
Nope.
It was like 2 weeks after the game came out. You were like, oh, this happened. This is good. And I was like, what? And I was like, whatever. I'm going to have to buy it now and try it out. Because if you're telling me it's good, then, I mean, I'm going to believe you on that. And yeah, sure enough. And that's why I was like, do you want me to just record this with you blindly?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, that's the full cycle complete of the story of why we started doing this playthrough is because I was like, we should.
And then, so blooper teams, less than stellar track record led us to be like, haha, this is never going to work. And then we saw, oh my god, it's actually going to work. So then I asked, I want to play it. And then I was like, do you want to play it? Which brought us to work on this YouTube channel together, which brought us to Biglet's Big Adventure. So technically speaking, it's Blooper Team's fault.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? We did say that game was developed by Blooper Team. So, Piglet's Big Adventure, the remake by Blooper.
Yeah, we need to know, Blooper Team, anybody, did you guys work on Biglet's Tip Adventure? No, what?
No way. That's the scariest Freudian slip I've ever heard in my entire life.
Oh my god.
Biglet's Tip?
Biglet's Tip Adventure. Like, it's not Piglet, it's Biglet. Like, this is Biglet up in here, and there's my tip. Like, I don't know what happened.
I need I would love to send that through like a AI image generator to make like a video game box art cover for Biglet's Tip Adventure. I want to know what AI would find so interesting about that title. I think I heard it.
Oh,
heard what, Gwynn? I don't know.
Yeah, did you hear it? Because I actually didn't hear it, but I think that's why I walked over there. Yeah, you heard the little.
I'll definitely boost the audio
okay.
and then cut my voice out there. Cut our voices out for sure. God. And this.
Yeah, I also paid attention to this because you did tell me later in the game this room becomes again kind of important. And I did just kind of take note of that. I was like, oh, you're right. I was like,
yeah, this room is very important.
I was like, why are we still having like 9 minutes left? I know where this is, but then this happens.
Yeah.
Clary's just like, that's weird. It's not at all something that I should be concerned about. That's just hi.
Yeah, James is like the king of vacillating between over and underreacting to situations.
Look at him. He's like, oh, shoot.
He's like, oh, wait, this is not good, actually.
Not, like, extremely not great, not potent to the current situation.
So I'm like of two minds. Not really. I mean, it didn't really add a whole lot to the whole more graphicness of the original Pyramid Head scene.
Look at his eyes. Oh my god, he's so handsome.
He's so handsome. Hit the dab.
What is the point of that?
I don't know. He does it in the original game too, though.
This one's
he's just weird.
But is that the town fucking with him?
I don't know, man. It's impossible to say.
I mean, somebody get the original sound team on the phone.
I don't speak like any Japanese really. I don't think they'd be available. Anyway, so this point was the point where I had realized that I don't remember anything about the original game at all. I mean, obviously I do, but there's like so many inconsistencies that I had come up with in my own mind.
Like the icon not appear on the map.
I was so convinced that James did not shoot in the original game, and that this was supposed to be like a stare down moment between him and Pyramid Head, and it's kind of supposed to just be like implied that like Pyramid Head is like looking right at you and that he knows that he's in there and then just kind of walks away cockily. and that he doesn't shoot in the original game. But then like we filmed this scene, and I was like, wow, I don't feel like he does this in the original game. And then I went back and I saw it, and he does. Sure enough, sure as shit, he shoots the hell out of Pyramid Head, and then he walks away.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I found that very fun too. What the hell is that about?
Well, it's obviously Mary's.
I mean, but why is it there? And why does he not bring it up?
I don't know.
Okay, thanks.
So the weird thing about this room is that like obviously they always talk about going back to this town. So Mary and James could not be. They wouldn't have lived in this town. Hold on.
Correct.
Wait. Because this audio is all gonna get cut out.
Okay. I was gonna say.
And I wanna leave this here.
I was gonna say we have about 3 minutes, 4 or 5. We have minutes.
Yeah.
We have a minute's amount left.
I won't belabor the point. But anyway, obviously, James and Mary, they always talk about going back to Silent Hill, and so it wouldn't make any sense for her actual sick room, where she returned home to be sick in James's or their apartment together. I don't know. It wouldn't make sense for it to be in Silent Hill because she talks about going back, and so it can't be her room, but it definitely looks like the room that they're in. Like that's certainly the way that the room looks in the final moments of the game.
Which is also interesting because you never really think about this. It's like, when you think of them, oh, Mary and James, marry happy couple in this time, you know, whatever, the early, like, maybe 80s or whatever, they should have had a house. But from what we've seen, they live in a small apartment shoebox.
The economy should be great right now. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so it's like, that's why I'm like, what is happening with that little apartment? And what's happening with my frame rate? Oh my god,
As per usual.
The frame economy is not great.
Anyway, I have to imagine that the handkerchief is just a similar situation to the letter, where it's just a creation of James's mind.
Definitely cut that one out.
Actually, you know what? I didn't really pay attention at the end of the game if we have the handkerchief in our inventory still or not.
That's a good point. By the way, new enemy in this game, the enemies get more aggressive, more powerful versions of themselves. These are the black line figures that only show up here for the first time in the other worlds, and whenever you kill them for goodsies, they blow themselves up, and you need to get away from them, otherwise it lingers and hurts.
It does. It sits there for a lot longer than you'd expect it to. Longer than the particle, I think, which I don't know if that's intentional or if it's a glitch, but it's a little awkward. Anyway, I think the other thing that I'll get into here is that I really... you definitely know that you're in the other world in this game.
You said that, but the first time we came in here, I was like,
well, okay, I mean, I don't know. To me, I always really liked, especially the Otherworld version of the apartments, because at least initially, you go through the weird portal, basically, and you kind of get into the second apartment building, and you're kind of like, well, that's weird. You know, maybe this is the lower income apartments, or, you know, it's just like a older, more decrepit version of the apartments. And then slowly it sort of dawns on you that this, wherever you are, is not of this world. But kind of right out of the gate here in this game, it's already like, this is like advanced decay beyond what is normal for like an apartment building to fall into. So,
you know, I'm gonna tell myself for what the situation I ran myself into. That was not poorly handled. I think I took no
you
damage.
handled that like a champ, I'd say.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually didn't take damage, which I thought I did, but that's nice. Wait, was that a jump? Could I have jumped there? I don't even know.
You could have mantled, yeah. This is another good spot for a battle arena for sure.
Yeah, man, I want games to have Turok like combat multiplayer again. I love Turok Rage Wars. We gotta play that at some point.
Yeah, that's an interesting painting.
Is it? Well, what you see in that painting? Huh? Would you like zoom in?
Oh, I don't. This wasn't a little cheeky. Wow, look at that kind of type moment for me. That's just like it's just interesting.
Okay.
Looks weird. Looks gross.
Moth.
I actually find it kind of interesting that James doesn't even bother to look at it and say like, huh, I don't really get modern art.
No, I don't. Honestly.
Man, if they made him a quipster.
Quipster? Well, then we'd be actually just have Leon. Then you can't have
No,
that.
for real, yeah.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Bye. We'll never talk about that again. That really freaked me out the first time through.
Oh yeah, I really like fucking what is it, like held the lead on that one for real.
Yeah, you
Made
definitely.
you very uncomfortable with the mannequins.
I actually hated this puzzle here because it feels more difficult in normal mode. Like, what is Henry
really?
Scott? I was like, what is happening here? Like, I got it, but like the
Hours and seconds.
yeah,
right?
but the way that they set it up, he's like he's laying down. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I actually think the hard mode is more difficult. I think if you give me a difficult puzzle, I get it. If you give me an easy puzzle, I'll overcomplicate it.
See, I don't think that's true, but you know, like I'll let you believe it if you'd like.
Well, you know what? Fuck you too, Gwynn. We're about to approach the end of this particular part. There's Scott just hanging out, doing his
Hey,
thing.
Scott.
Oh, you said, hey, Scott. I heard he's got, and I'm like, he's got coke.
All right, well, we'll see you in the spookiest part yet in the next episode of Silent Hill 2, the remake.
What?
It ended so suddenly.
It did.